Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and today we're going to be cleaning up this. This is a slim PlayStation 2, aka the PlayStation 2 Model 2. Before we do that though, if you guys could do me a favor, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't done that, and then hit me up on all the social media stuff, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, all that sort of stuff's in the description, as well as my new channel called Flying and Eating, blah, 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 blah. I really appreciate that support. Okay, thank you. Now, moving on, yes, we're going to clean this up. If you guys have seen in the past, I did a couple of videos about cleaning PS2s. I have a really old one on cleaning a fat PS2, and I actually redid that video recently with a more modern with a better camera and all that sort of stuff, another fat PS2. Back in the day, though, I also did a different video of cleaning up a slim PlayStation 2. So why are we doing this now? Well, you could argue better camera, but also, really, the real reason is this isn't really the console I did that to. I did it to this one. This is sort of the Model 3. It's a subtle difference, but if you look at the front, you'll see that one of the ridges is missing. Additional ventilation is missing. On top, slightly different design, and on the back, that's actually where it's the most obvious way to tell, is if you look the power supply in particular, you can see all the ports are kind of lined up differently, and the Model 2 has extra ventilation right there, but the biggest difference is the power supply. The Model 2 has this, pinhole type of one, and this uses the more figure-8 standard one. These are easier to find power supplies for, obviously, as opposed to this one, but the cooler thing about the Model 2 is that it's not that this is all that valuable anymore. It's the slightly easier one to hack. To be, as long as you have the right, swap magic stuff to go with it, you can actually kind of trick this one relatively easily to play those discs, burn discs and all that. Totally useless now, but that's not the point of this. I just want to clean this all up. So you're probably looking at it like, dude, you paid 30 bucks for this? That's pretty good. Well, it's actually a little bit better than that. That's Canadian. I'm an American. I was up in Vancouver and I found this for $30 at a Savers, but in US currency that's about $24. But the best part about that, and I told the story when I did the video, my pickups video. So I found this and a few other consoles up at a Savers or Value Village. And while I was there, I was standing in line, and this dude just walks up to me in typical Canadian fashion. He's like, "Oh, hey, this fell off your console." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, no, that fell off." And then he walked away, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And I look at the thing he handed me. It was this piece of paper, and it was just a coupon to Savers or Value Village. That was 50% off all video game stuff that day. So that was actually only $15 Canadian, which is maybe like $12 American. So yeah, I only paid like 12 bucks for this. No idea if it works. It was just the console, but really I only got it just to make this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to try and clean it all up, obviously. And the first thing we're going to do is get rid of this sticker. So the best way to do that is to take something like this. This is desolvent. There's also Goo Gone and things like that. All we're going to do here is just spray it on there like that, and then wipe that around and let that sit for like, I don't know, a good 10 minutes or so, and it'll eat away. See how it's already starting to cut through some of the sticker lines there? You can already see stuff underneath. So it's been a little while, and you can see that's really eaten through this sticker there, but now we're just gonna lift it and it should just peel. There you go, look at that, how easily that just came off. You'll see a little bit of sticker residual there, and if we want, you could do this now. I'm going to just for demonstration purposes, but basically take like a napkin or something and just kind of wipe that down and get rid of any sort of adhesive bits, if there's any left over, but really in this case there's really not much. But look at the difference in the color there. We're going to try and restore that as much as possible. And in order to do that, we need to take it apart. So in order to do that, we have to flip it over, and we're going to remove the screws. Now on the bottom of a slim PlayStation 2, it can be a little misleading. There's 6 screw points. Now you might look at it and be like, I don't know, man, I'm counting 7. You're wrong. These 2 feet back here in the distance are not screw points. There's not a screw hidden underneath those. You just kind of ignore them. There's a screw here, 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 here. Well, Adam, that's 5, man. There's one underneath this. And unfortunately, in order to get to it, you have to cut this seal, or if you have better tools, you can try to like, remove that in other ways. But to just kind of illustrate what it looks like, underneath my other slim PlayStation 2, you can see I at one point did remove this. And so it'll end up looking kind of like that. So you basically have to do that, and yeah. But once you go ahead and remove those, you kind of can use your fingernail to just kind of lift them up like that. There's some rubber ones. Make sure you remember where those are. But underneath, you'll see a screw. And those screws are just Phillips heads. So yeah, once you have those out, it's time to take the lid off, which can be, I haven't done these in a couple of years. When I say a couple, I mean like I was in high school, so it wasn't really a couple. Man, time flies. Anyway, time to take the lid off, and that can be a little tricky with these. So you kind of lift from the back, and doing it at this angle is not going to help, but you just kind of wedge it up a little bit, and you can see it's kind of coming apart in the back there. I find it's a little bit easier if you do this upside down. Lift it from all these, different points, and it might sound like it's going to pop or something, but it's not. It'll be okay. And then you get it down. There you go. Just that simple. The Sony, to their credit, actually did a good job of kind of holding these things in place. But really, this is it. Now this is detached, and as you can see, this has got all sorts of scuffs and dirt and stuff all over it. Some dust there. And we're going to take care of that. But I also want to remove the board so we can clean that, and we'll get access to the bottom piece of plastic, which fortunately, if I remember correctly, let me just double check here real quick. Yes. This is easy. This one's actually super simple. See this one screw right here? Right there by the controllers? That's it. Just remove that screw and then we'll be able to lift this whole thing out. This is the super easy part. You just kind of lift this out, the little power button, and then from there you can lift from the back, like maybe the broadband port, and that's it. The board is out and we can, whoa. Yeah, see, look at all that dust and nastiness. But that's actually really great because now we're just going to take these two plastic pieces and I'm going to put them in, I'm going to wash them with soap and water and scrubs and brushes and all that. Try to get as much dirt and dust and grime out of there as possible. Potentially you could take this apart here if you needed to fix this, but there's nothing wrong with the lid itself, so I'm not going to do that, but I will clean it up, obviously. Okay, so they're all rinsed up. They're looking a lot better. Obviously, they're still in the drying phase, but while we're at this point, we're going to try and get rid of some of these scuffs. Now, washing it did a little bit to break these down. There's like a bunch on the lid. There's a couple of small ones like right there, and I guess another one like right there, and so on and so forth. They're not damaged, they're just scuffs that have happened from, in hitting other things over time, whatever. I don't know what the previous owners did. But there is something we can actually do about this. This is Mr. Clean's Magic Eraser. This is like a really fine sandpaper type of thing that clearly I have used a lot over the years. Basically, it's recommended that you take it at this point to the plastic, which is now currently wet, and you just kind of, rub it down like this, and just try to get that scuffed plastic out, or those scuffed bits out. And pretty much there you go, that'll do it. Now be careful with this stuff because this will remove logos and stickers and things like that. So just kind of apply it to the affected areas and then, rewash it because it leaves like a dust everywhere. All right, they have been rinsed, they have been scuffed, or de-scuffed if you will, and they're looking all right. I think it's time to just put them off to the side and let them dry. So while we wait for that to happen, we're going to bring in the main board. This is of course the console itself there. Now, there's not a whole lot I think we need to do with this. PS2 Slims are typically built pretty well, but there's some stuff that we can do to hopefully get it running. I think it already works. I'm just going to guess that it already does, to be totally honest with you. But that said, we can kind of scale the odds in our favor a little bit. We're going to remove a bunch of dust. There's a lot of surface dust that you can see there, and while that surface dust is likely having absolutely no actual bearing on the operation of the product, it certainly doesn't hurt to just get rid of it, which is always one of the best moves. Get rid of dust. That's really all I'm trying to say here. Get rid of dust. So we're going to do it in a few key places. Mostly this will be spot cleaning, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use an air duster. This is an electric air duster. You can also use compressed air. The idea is just kick the dust away. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to lower the volume for your sake. Oh, I don't know how well the camera picked it up, but when I fired that, it like came out like an explosion. That was actually pretty neat. So yeah, so we did that. And I think what I'm going to do now is just kind of look around to see if there's any other spots, and we'll do a Q-tip surface cleaning where we take one of these and just kind of, wipe it down and go around there and just get as much dirt and dust out of there as we can, particularly from the controller ports, the USB ports, that type of thing. Obviously, I'm just doing this very haphazard at the moment, but yeah, basically all I'm saying is get dust out of there. Now that that's done, there's one very essential thing to clean, which is the laser. For that, I typically use Windex, or window lean as it's known in certain countries. There's other potential options, but that's like what I like to stick to. So in order to do that, I take a Q-tip, As you can see, out of focus there. And you just spray some on the edge of the Q-tip, which again is, the camera is not going to cooperate, but I'm sure you get the core idea. Spray it on the Q-tip here, and then extraordinarily gently just rub the lens a little bit with that. And then swap it to the dry side, just like that. And boom, that's it. Now that thing is as clean as it's realistically going to get. And now it's time to put the thing back together. So the first step with that is to take the board and just sit it right back into the console, which you'll recall was not, yeah, boom, there you did it with one hand. The only real trick to this here is make sure that this little piece is kind of, you know, seated right back where it's supposed to be, right there, in between these little teeth that will catch it. And then there's one single screw that goes right there, and of the screws you've removed, it'll be pretty easy to remember which one this is because it's the only one that looks different. Okay, with that in place, it's time to put the lid on, which is also, again, relatively simple. You just kind of sit it right back into place, and there you go. It's all, there might be a little bit of plastic there, you kind of have to clasp it over. But yeah, it should hold together relatively well. Upon looking at this, I noticed that this one doesn't actually have a sticker. There's some models that will have a sticker right there, another warranty sticker, so you would have to slice through that when taking it apart. Keep that in mind. But yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and put those 6 silver screws back in place. We have to put the little feet back on. So you should have 2 little rubber ones. Those are the ones that go in the back over here. So you'll have the 2 rubber ones here that you never touched and 2 back there. Plus you'll have 4 black ones, one of which theoretically will have a sticker, so that one will be off to that side. And then you just put the other 3 smooth plastic ones in those various spots. And the last one there with the little sticker bit on it, I'm going to have to take a closer look at just because I want the text to match, but yeah, I'll just pop that right back in. See, now that it's back together, it looks a lot better than it did before. Dust and all that sort of stuff is removed, but you can still see we've got these like white little scuff marks here. This is the residual of having done the Mr. Clean's Magic Eraser. However, there is actually a solution to this, and one that can also make the console look better in general, bring out more of the original shine and luster and all that, and that's to use Pledge. This is an orange Pledge. There's various different kinds you can use. I just recommend don't use the moisturizing kind, but outside of that, you should be good to go. Basically, yep, just spray it on there, and then take like a napkin or a paper towel or something like that, and wipe it down like this, and then just kind of let it dry. I'm going to cover all the sides of it, you know, top, bottom, all that, in a less haphazard manner off camera, but basically you want to do that and then kind of let it sit for like 10 minutes or so, and then we'll take a look at the results. So one of these is the one we just worked on, and one of them is the one I've had since I was in high school that I'm the original owner of. Can you guess which is which? You probably can. That's the new one. That's the restored one. And man, what a difference. Look at that. Look at the nice shine. And this one's become very dull over time. This is why you clean these things from every once in a while and make them look like that. But yeah, no, I think the final result, I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully it works. And then I decide if I'm going to leave it flat like this, or if I'm going to put it up on the side. I probably should have pointed out, you know, you see this part here. Inside there's like a little metal plate in that and everything. And if you put it up on the side, you can rotate the little PlayStation logo. So I've got the console all set up here. Now, don't forget, of course, the PS2 plays not only PS1, but PS2 games as well. And the way PS2 games worked is they had both DVD and CD-based games. So that means there's technically, you could have one format work and the other doesn't work. So the best way to test it is to play both a PS1 game as well as a DVD-based PS2 game. If both work, you're good to go. So I've decided to put in Twisted Metal 2 to test the CD-based laser, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm pretty sure that means it worked, which is fantastic. Yeah, that was a really quick boot up time, actually. There's some nostalgia berries for you. But yeah, the point of this is not to show like quality of the of the gameplay or the content. It's just to say, hey, yeah, no, it's actually booting. It's actually running the disc really, really well. I'll press the button on it, make sure it. I love this game. It's one of my childhood favorites. And yeah, controller's responding. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I think we're good to go. Yeah, seems to load just fine. Okay, great. So what we're going to do now is try an actual PS2 disc, a DVD-based one specifically. I'm going to put that off to the side just for the sake of efficiency. And for the game we have chosen, we've got Manhunt 2, which again is a DVD-based game. Make sure you test both. And if it boots this, then we're good to go. So we'll see. You can hear it and see it there. That is a quick boot on this thing. PS2s tend to you know, yeah, so that means it definitely worked. PS2s have a tendency to kind of stall a little bit there, that first screen. This thing must boot really, really nicely. That's great. Well, you know, maybe I'm about to eat... Nope, though, I was going to say about to eat my words, but seems to be working just fine. Manhunt 2 is another cool game, by the way. You're going to continue... yes. But there you go, guys. It seems like it works just fine. So hopefully if you're out there and you have a slimline PS2 that you bought cheap or whatever, this will help you restore it, get it running. It's a very simple process, as you guys saw, provided there's nothing too extreme wrong with it. Or at the worst case scenario, just make the one you have look nicer. I think this one turned out really well. I'm very happy with this pickup in the end because it's only cost me like $12, and now I have a fully functional PlayStation 2. So, awesome. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys could please like, comment, subscribe, comment, you know, obviously comment, but go in the description, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, all that sort of stuff. Check out the new Flying and Eating channel. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.